Hi everyone, I'm London Orleans.
And I'm
Testing.
Well, thank you for your patience, everyone. I'm Mrs. Kachalova, in case we haven't met, and we'd like to welcome you here for the first time in almost 3 years to our annual Poetry and Song Night. We're so excited that you're all joining us and happy to be spending a night together. So I want to start off, first of all, by thanking our wonderful 5th grade Yak helpers over here. Could you guys stand up and give a wave? It stands for Youth Employment Program, and they are 5th graders, 3 of whom are Poetry Night graduates. If you were in Poetry Night yourself, stand up. Yeah, we've got a few friends over here that have done this themselves. And a few friends that also are here to help out and always help us every week. So they come to the classroom and do different things with the younger students, which is a great program. So before any further ado, you might want to silence cell phones if you have those, just to make sure. And what we're going to do is take a look first. Nope, never mind. I think we got it. If you didn't get one of these programs, we have a few extra in the back there, but I wanted to just have you take a look at the cover. First of all, we had a contest for this poetry cover, and this was the original, and you have a copy of that. And the contest was entered by several of the wonderful children here behind me, and the winner was Esther Bowen. Esther, give a wave. She chose what she did for this imaginative cover once we get the program going. So nice job, Esther. I'm proud of every single one of you that entered that contest. We talk a lot about how it's not easy to enter something when you know that you only one winner, but it's a great lesson in life, and I was really proud of everyone who did that. So before we get going here, the other thing I wanted to just briefly touch upon is, you know, we haven't been able to do this kind of thing in 3 years, as I mentioned. But 8 months ago, this group behind me here, we all met one another, and we didn't really know each other very well, did we? I knew a few of them from siblings that I've taught, but they have come together so well in 8 months, getting to know one another, and more importantly, learning to act like a family that we are here, because we spend so much time together. We had the wonderful opportunity today to get a peek at a new student who will be joining us tomorrow. He was on a tour with Mr. Charner and Miss Busby, and the look of excitement on all of their faces when they saw his head pop in the door was just like so amazing. So we can't wait to welcome him tomorrow. And he might be watching us tonight, so let's all give a wave to Amon. Give him a wave in case he's tuning in. We can't wait to have you in our class tomorrow. And so tonight is, as I mentioned, a night to celebrate. The students have been working very hard on songs and individual poems and projects. And some of which you'll hear more about. But we're going to start off with some songs. The first 2 songs we've learned in music class with our wonderful teacher, Mrs. Meskimen. And so the first one is about welcoming all of you here tonight and at home. We also want to give a shout out to our buddy Nolan, who's at home. Can we give Nolan a big wave?
Hi, Nolan.
Yes, we miss you, Nolan, and can't wait to see you when you're well again. So here we go. Welcome here.
Welcome here, with your friends and be a good cheer. Welcome here, with your friends and be a good cheer. Welcome here, with your friends and be a good cheer.
special theme. And this year, rightfully so, it's the year of friendship. We've made so many great friendships among one another in this class, and so we're going to share something for the year of friendship called Hey There Friend.
Hey there, friend, tell me how do you do? We're gonna have some fun, just me and you. Won't you give me high five and boogie on down? Let's check once and turn around.
Okay, and next up, we're going to invite our former principal and musician extraordinaire, Mr. Green, up. Great to see you back. And so first we're going to do a song written by Glenn Colton called The School Song, and this has some special emotions and hopefully a really great message that we can all take to heart. Mr. Green?
Ready?
Everybody knows about a random act of kindness. Everybody knows what it means to be a friend. Everybody knows where we belong, here at school singing this song. So come on everybody, sing along. I will not hurt anyone on the inside. I will not hurt anyone on the outside. I will respect you and me. It's our responsibility. 'Cause we're a part of this community.
Now, it's your turn. So to do the, yay! So to do the motions, you go make a big X like this. I will not, go ahead, do this, come on, come on. I will not hurt anyone on the inside. Good. I will not, do it again. I will not hurt anyone on the outside. I will respect, make an R with your fingers like this, and I will respect you and me. Let's do that again. Respect you and me. And now it's our responsibility. You put one hand out with your palm up, your other hand on top of it with the palm up, and put them on your shoulder like it's a big burden that you're holding. It's a responsibility. It's our responsibility. Because we're a part of this community. Bring everybody together! And where does the community stay? In your heart. Oh. Okay, so that's it. All right, you ready? All right, here we go. And you guys will lead them and show them, right? I will not hurt anyone on the inside. Very good.
I will not hurt anyone on the outside.
Make an R.
I will respect you and me. It's our responsibility.
Oh, not bad.
'Cause we're a part of this community.
That was great, and I love how they were checking to make sure everybody was participating. That's what we're doing around here. We all participate. It's hard being in a community. Yeah, you got it. So we're going to try that. Now, next up is a song that I always have to include for poetry night, and Mr. Green has been a really great sport in learning this song over the years. This is a song I got years ago when my mom was alive. It's on a CD she gave me called The Library Boogie. If you can imagine a library loaded with books, which we say are what? Books are? Treasures. At nighttime, when everyone's gone home and the books come alive, what would happen? So can everyone pick up those treasures and get us ready for The Library Boogie by Tom Knight?
late last night, I happened to see something strange at the library. The books are quiet all day long, but at night they like to sing some songs. They get the tapes and the CDs out, and they start to dance and they shout. They do the library boogie, library boogie, library boogie, library boogie, reading a book. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Get a library card, then you can check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Listen and you can hear the tune of a runaway bunny and a good night moon. Round there, what do you see? A very hungry caterpillar looking at me. Harold's crayons draws a lot, but can you tell me where to start? She's at the library boogie, library boogie, library boogie, library boogie. Reading a book, that's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, get a library card, then you can check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Peter Rabbit said something funny to Winnie the Pooh, who was eating some honey. Frances has her bread and jam, but I prefer green eggs and ham. I asked Madeline and then the bars, maybe where the wild things are. They're at the library boogie, library boogie, library boogie, library boogie, reading a book. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Get a library card, then you can check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. What are they doing? They're dancing. Here comes the big finish. Here we go. Laura Eagles, making friends. There's a velveteen rabbit where the sidewalk ends. The secret garden is the red wall, where Charlotte the spider likes to crawl. Harry Potter and Nancy Drew are. They're at the library boogie, library boogie, library boogie, library boogie, reading a book. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Get a library card, then you can check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Oh, the books were dancing and having fun when somebody said,
Here comes the sun!
and everyone scrambled like a wild goose chase back to the shelves to find their place. The librarian turned on the light. She said,
My oh my, what happened last night?
it was the library boogie,
Library boogie,
library boogie,
library boogie.
reading a book. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Get a library card.
Then you can check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out.
Get a library card.
Then you can check it out. Check it out!
That was great. So we're going to go ahead and set those books down, and I give kudos to our friends in the top row who had some extra ones to help out our friend Nolan. So wow, way to go. Yes. You're right, the second and the third row. I stand corrected. Yes, for sure. Second and third row had extra books, so that was great. Now we're going to go on to a song that is kind of like a JA tradition, I feel like. In fact, I have friends of my daughters that are like in their 30s that remember this song from Mr. Green playing at Relay for Life, and it's a really fun one. It's called The Mashed Potatoes, written by the very own Mr. Green. You remember this?
Sing along. along if you know the words.
Ooby gobba gobba walla walla Washington. I love mashed potatoes. Ooby gobba gobba walla walla Washington. I love mashed potatoes.
Well,
I love mashed potatoes. It's my favorite food. I love mashed potatoes because they taste so good. So I say, ooby gobba gobba walla walla Washington. I love mashed potatoes. Ooby gobba gobba walla walla Washington. I love mashed potatoes.
well, sometimes when I'm thoughtful, I tiptoe around the house
And I sing my song
very quietly.
as quiet as a mouse. And I sing, ooby gobba gobba walla walla Washington. I love mashed potatoes.
Well, sometimes when I'm goofy, I sing my song
Really high!
it sounds just like my mom, and I sing,
Ooby gobba gobba walla walla Washington. I love mashed potatoes.
gotta wait until my face are ready. Well, sometimes when I'm elated, it means I'm really happy. Sometimes when I'm glad, I sing my song really low. It sounds just like my dad, and I sing, ooby gobba gobba walla walla Washington. I love mashed potatoes. Sing it lower, Dad. Ooby gobba gobba walla walla Washington. See, now sensitive ears. You better cover them up. Well, sometimes when I'm frightened by my entire day, I sing my song really loud, and I sing them all away, and I sing,
Ooby gobba gobba walla walla Washington. I love mashed potatoes.
I can't hear you.
Ooby gobba gobba walla walla Washington. I love mashed potatoes. Potatoes. I'm in 2 minutes. No?
One more time. You guys do it.
So you probably can tell it's getting closer to the time for individual poems, which means these friends who've been working so hard might be feeling those butterflies we talked about, which is perfectly normal. How many grown-ups in this audience have ever gotten up in front of a group of any size and got butterflies? Raise your hand. Oh my gosh. Everybody look out there. Do you see that? And guess what? They're still here and they're smiling. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get ready. Can I have all the poets reach behind you and pick up your book or books? Okay? And I'm going to get this out of my way. Let's see. I just want to share something. I know this morning we were all very excited. We got this note, a J.A. Paw note nonetheless, from our principal, Mr. Charno. It was a very positive, happy message. We're so excited for that. And I know this morning we all talked about all those wonderful things that we are going to do to support each other. I know he's at home watching right now with his family, so I hope you're enjoying the show. And we're going to get started. So it may take a little bit to get our props up here, but we're going to get started with our first poet, who is Nick. Come on up, Nick.
Royalty by Charles Smith Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Court of Gospel of 2020 to present to you a giant who stands tall, the fearless mix, the piping pronunciation, the request of finesse, the rock of the listen, the miscount of vision, article says, tossing 10 pence to TVs with a flick of a wrist. The baron of a chase block with a one-hand swoop. Lord of the weeks are always given. His Royal Highness rising high over the hoop, for ruler of a written looking down on the hoop. The Duke of Disrespectful Dunks, ruler of a room, looking down on the hoops. The monarchs of many and alone, with the clever self-touch, hailing from the land of free. The Count of Clutch, passing his name, and passing the kings, exalted one for real King James.
Yeah, it is not easy to be the first one to go, so I think he did a fantastic job. And Nick chose that poem because he likes sports and basketball, and he really likes watching basketball and cheers for the New York Knicks, and he really loves LeBron James. Well done, Nick. I'm really proud of you. You said it very well. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, that would be great. And so next up, we're going to hear from Eleonora.
Inside the Box by Anne LaFotte. Inside the prayer box, long pointed fingers, decked out in paper wraps, joust for attention. Choose me, no me. I'm the white color for seeds. Who says a seed must be brown? A field of corn green, a flat tire black. As you take Clarence from the box, break out of your own box and turn your paper into a whole new world.
That was wonderful, Ellie. Fantastic job. And she chose that poem because it is like her, creative, just like she is, and she loves creating new crafts, and she's always thinking outside the box. Well done, Ellie. And next up, we're going to hear from Jada.
He's nothing much but fur and two round eyes of blue. He has a giant purr and a midget meow. He darts and pats the air. He starts and cocks his ear when there's nothing there for him to see and hear. He runs around and rings, but why we cannot tell, sideways leaps. He springs at things invisible. Then halfway through a leap, his startled eyeballs close, and he drops off to sleep with one paw on his nose.
Great job, Dada. And Dada chose that poem because she likes cats, because her Oma and Opa have a cat, and her cousin has a barn cat. Her Oma and Opa's cat's name is Puma, and her cousin's cat name is Bruno. She loves how fluffy, colorful, and cute they are. Nice job, Dada. Okay, next up we're going to hear from Marco. Come on up, Marco.
My dog, by Marchette Shoe. His nose is short and scrubby, his ears hang rather low. He always brings his stick back, no matter how far you throw. He gets spanked rather often for things he shouldn't do, like lying on beds and barking, and eating up chicken or new. He always wants to be going, but he isn't supposed to go. He tracks like clouds in the snow. Oh, puppy, I love you so.
Well done, Marco. And Marco chose that poem because his puppy acts just like the puppy in the poem. He barks all the time and sometimes brings snow into the house. So next up, we're going to hear from Fiona. Come on up, Fiona.
What is pink? By Christina G. Rossetti. What is pink? A rose is pink by the ground found spring. What is red? A poppy's red in the barley bed. What is blue? The sky is blue where the clouds float through. What is white? A swan is white and sailing light. What is yellow? Pears are yellow, rich and ripe and mellow. What is green? The grass is green with small flowers between. What is violet? The clouds are violet in the summer's twilight. What is orange? Why an orange? Just an orange.
Well done, Fiona. She chose that poem because she loves peace and love. Also, she loves a lot of birds like blue jays, cardinals, and swans. And today your children were actually writing color poems and we used Fiona's as a springboard for that, so it was kind of fun. All right, next up we will hear from Noah.
Lacrosse poem, author unknown. As we pick the field, ready for the game, sticks in hands, looking at how far we came. The other team squares off to us, ready to score. We've worked hard, but this is not practice anymore. The whistle blows, the draw is high. No one is going to let this game end in a tie. The first goal comes quickly, using quick bursts of energy. If you play as hard as you can to the best of your ability, you will impress everyone with your skill and agility.
So far. Well done, Noah. And Noah chose that poem because he loves lacrosse and wants to be a goalie because it looks very fun. Someday he hopes to be a lacrosse goalie, so keep that dream up. All right, next we're going to hear from Landon. Come on up, Landon.
A book at night by Justin Matod. I sit up reading with my left hand in my hand. When I read a scary story, I use natural light. And sometimes it's a mystery that questions me to live. I want to know who done it. I think that's really great. When I read a little funny book, I laugh in my pillow. When the book's kind of humorous, my laughter starts to pillow. And soon will be knocking on the side of my door. I wonder if it's my mother or my brother who's bored. He hears me in here giggling, and maybe he hears my fear. I wonder if he'll venture in to see me reindeer. When in my room a story comes, it'll fit me toy. This one's like a favorite book. It's always very great.
Yeah, it's hard to stop reading. We're going to talk about that today. Some of us really have a hard time putting our books away, I myself included. So well done, Landon. And Landon chose that book because he has a need to read. The poem's about reading, and he loves to read because he has a big imagination. All right, next we're going to hear from Esther. Come on up, Esther.
He dances in his doghouse till the early morning light. The other dogs come running when they hear my donkey sing. A few play their hitch shoes, the others dance and sing. They pair off with their partners as their tails stay to lag. They love to do the bunny hop, foxtrot, and the shag. You'll see the doghouse rocking, and 100 dogs or more, all trip delight fantastic on the doghouse disco floor. At last at dawn, they exit the early morning breeze and stop to sniff the fire hydrants, bushes, lawns, and trees. I don't understand it, but all the reasons are fun. I can't see how all those dogs fit inside that doghouse built for one. Woo!
Well done, Esther. And Esther chose that poem, much like the cover, because she loves dogs. The dogs are super adorable. She especially loves puppies and huskies. Well done. Next we will hear from Ella. Come on, Ella.
Border Collie by Avery. Working hard suits her fine, she makes sheep stay in line. Not an easy job you see, but she's as smart as a dog can be. Rottweiler by Avery. He's really playful, which he shows you, but that's mostly if he knows you. You wouldn't want to steal his bum or anything else that he may own. German Shepherd by Avery Corman. He's a police dog for some because he's so clever and knows to live chump forever and ever.
We saw some pictures of Ella's dog. She's definitely a dog lover, which is why she couldn't decide on one poem. She chose 3. Very well done, Ella. All right, she actually has 5 dogs, and she has a Rottweiler and a dog like a Border Collie, and wishes that she had a German Shepherd. All right, next up, we're going to hear from Liam. Come on in.
When I am full of silence and no one else is near, the voice I keep inside of me is all I want to hear. I settle in my secret place, contented and alone. and think no other thoughts except the thoughts that are my own. When I am full of silence, I do not care to play, to run or jump or fuss about the way I do all day. The pictures painted in my mind are all I need to see. When I am full of silence, when I am truly me.
That was awesome, Liam. Yep, you can just take it right over to Miss Rowland there. Yeah. Miss Rowland's one of our volunteers here. We want to give a wave. She's helping us out tonight. Thank you so much, Miss Rowland. And Liam chose his poem because he said it has a really great taste to it, and it's in my teacher's book. We have a lot of poetry books. Lastly, it's his favorite poem of all the poems he's ever read in his whole life. Plus, he has a connection to it because he is silent a lot. All right, so as Liam takes his seat, we're going to call our friend Isaiah to come on up. Isaiah?
Questions and Answers by Joyce Henry. Earth, we know that you can't answer all of our questions in words. You answer in other ways. A crackling thunderstorm that shows us how each precious drop of water that cycles up and down and over again. Or a mighty wind that scares us a little, okay, a lot, and reminds us we're not in charge. Sometimes you answer us with the gently lapping of waves, flowing steady like the beat of our hearts. Maybe your answers are just what we need to make us stop and look and think about how wondrous you are. Wow.
Are things that the students have either created or had their families help them create, which was incredible. So well done with that, Isaiah. And he chose this poem because he likes to go to the beach. He went to North Carolina and there was a beautiful beach there. It's really kind of neat how the students are making connections as we hear and read different poetry and things that happened in their lives. So that was well done, Isaiah. Next up, we need a chair because we're going to hear from Denver.
One day I saw the tomatoes that somebody put on his hair. He saw from that seat like a rocket and practically flew through the air. I thought he would go through the ceiling. Who did that? Who did that? He roared. If there were a award for connections, then he would have won an award. He ranted all over the kitchen and did a ridiculous dance. He really was something to look at, tomatoes all over his pants. He raged like a ruffled old rooster, growled like a furious by the time that I sounded tomatoes that somebody promised her.
That was wonderful, Denver, and I hope that your dad really doesn't sit on any tomatoes tonight. So. Denver chose that that poem not because his dad sits on tomatoes, because he loves to joke with his dad. And this poem is very funny, and it is like his relationship with his dad. And Denver's brother William is one of our 5th grade young helpers who did a poem about pizza. So I think it's this food thing here with the poems. They both did a fantastic job. Well done again, Denver. All right, and next up we're going to hear from Avery. Come on up, Avery.
Dear Basketball by Kobe Bryant. Dear Basketball, from the moment I started rolling my dad's tube socks and shooting imaginary game-winning shots in the Great Western Forum, I knew one thing was real. I fell in love with you. A love so deep, I gave you my all from my mind to my body to my spirit and my soul. You gave a 6-year-old boy, no. As a 6-year-old boy deeply in love with you, I never saw the end of the tunnel. I only saw myself running out of one. And so I ran. I ran up and down every court after every loose ball for you. You asked for my hustle, I gave you my heart, because it came with so much more. I played through the sweat and dirt, not because challenge called me, but because you called me. You gave a 6-year-old boy his Laker dream and all his other for, but I can't love you especially from all summer. This season is all I have left to give. My mind and my heart can take the pounding, my mind can handle the grind, but my body knows it's time to say goodbye, and that's okay. I'm ready to let you go. I want you to know so we can both savor every moment we have left together. The good and the bad, we both know no matter what I do next, I'll always be that kid with rolled up socks, garbage can in the corner, 5 seconds on the clock, ball in my hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, love you always, Kobe.
That was wonderful. Avery chose, as you probably saw and heard, that was quite a long poem. The poems had to be 75 words or more, and his was 2 pages long and pretty difficult to memorize. So well done, Avery. Let's give him a round of applause. And he chose that poem because he likes basketball 100% more than he likes volleyball. Also, he really likes Kobe Bryant because he's a great basketball player. Nice job, Avery. So next we're going to hear from Catherine. Come on up.
He doesn't mind his blubbers, he doesn't mind his creases, and neither do his nephews, and neither do his nieces. You may find him chubby, you may find him fat, but he would disagree with you if he likes himself with that.
Well done, Catherine. And Catherine shows that poem because she has a pet whale named Nova. She likes how the author made the family bigger and bigger. That was wonderful. All right, and next we're going to hear from Jack. Come on up, Jack.
For the love of the game, author unknown. Up 3:30 and years by 5, barely awake but yet unalive,
As the rest of the world is asleep in our homes, as they start, stop, and breathe through the cones, as the kids run through practice with the greatest of ease, the parents have coffee and shoot the breeze. Coaches blow whistles and organize the drills, working them and pushing them to sharpen their skills. Although so tired and soaked with sweat, they know the harder they work, the better they get. The statistics may show goals, assists, and games that are won, but the true measure of success is the level of fun. Parents, players, and coaches are all different, but one thing's the same. We all do what we do for the love of the game.
That piece where, the harder they work, the better they get. I think that's true of all the children here tonight. They're working very hard and getting better each time. Nice job, Jack. And Jack chose that because he's passionate about hockey. It's really fun and a good workout. Okay. And so before my next quote goes, this would be when our friend Nolan goes. So one more. Nolan, we know you can't be here tonight, buddy, but we have your props here, and we know you're at home, and we want to just give a shout out to you. We miss you and can't wait to see you back when you're feeling well. I know. So now we're going to hear from Andrew.
No. Our Family Treasure Chest by Jenny Whitehead. Around the world, how can it be that every single Christmas tree is decorated differently? Up the attic stairs we creep, down go the boxes where they keep all our ornaments separately. As tissues crinkle, tales unfold about these treasures now we hold. The handmade new, the hand down up. And though we've heard these tales before, we keep unwrapping to hear more. Keep unwrapping to hear more.
And Andrew chose that poem because Christmas is his favorite holiday. He likes getting presents and decorating the Christmas tree. All right, well done. And next we're going to hear from Annie.
There, it is done. Now gaze upon your social life, the exact double down, once the finger. I mean, you should look at it through just the right angle. Anyway, on to my next masterpiece. Turn your curves into confetti. Really, I should have my own gallery show. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. By Francesco Marsuliano. Something's wrong. Why are the walls a different color? Something's not right. When did we get these stairs? Something's off. How did the kitchen move across the floor? Something's going on. Who changed all the homes outside? Something's very odd. Why are you mispronouncing Georgia as New York? Something. So you put me in that carrying case, and someday soon I will figure it out.
Fantastic, Annie, and I love the prop you made here. Hopefully that doesn't really insult So that part of our program was probably one that I am most proud of the children about. Can we give all of these poets over here a round of applause? Fantastic. And I also wanted to point out, I almost forgot, we have another poetry graduate sitting in the front row who's been taking pictures of each of you. I didn't want to make you nervous about that, but Miss D'Angelo, could you give a wave? She's our high school helper. 10 years ago, she was a poet on this very stage, and she came back to learn about being a teacher, and we're so happy to have her. It's been wonderful. So welcome back, Miss D'Angelo. Okay, so right now, this part of the program, if you notice, there's something in here that says a little bit about a celebration of pocket poems. And so for this part, this is actually inspired. One moment, I'm going to grab something here that I forgot. So this part of the program was inspired by this book by a friend of mine, Amy Ludwig Vanderwater. It's called If This Bird Had Pockets, a Poem in Your Pocket Day Celebration. And the children don't know this, but I have something I want to share with them. This author that you've been working on all these projects the last couple of weeks sent a note to you. So let me just tell you a little bit about what we've been doing. Yeah, she sent a note. And the note says, she's the real author, the one we've been reading all about. Okay, are you ready to hear it? It says, Dear young scientist, artist, poet, I learned from Mrs. Kachalova that you have a big event tonight, and I wanted to wish you a wonderful time. You and I went through the same process of learning, writing, learning more, and revising. And like Emma, you made careful, well-researched scientific drawings from your study. We are the same. Emma and I, Emma is the illustrator, met for the first time in person this week. And she and I talked about how important it was for both of us to get the animal facts true in word and art, and now you understand this too. Good work takes time, and after a project like this, you can look back and feel proud. Congratulations on your poetry and song night. This is a very special way to publish, and you will always remember it. And the animals you studied will forever hold special places in your hearts. I'm thinking about you and sending each one of you and my friend Mrs. Kachalova big poem hugs. Your friend, Amy. And so what the children did is this poem, after we read the poem, we discovered there were exactly 18 animal poems in there. And guess how many students we have in our class? 18. Exactly 18 until tomorrow. And so each of them took one of those animals, read the poem, and practiced drawing and learning about it. And after they did their first sketch, they gave each other specific feedback to make it better. After they did their second one, they gave them more specific feedback, looking like a scientist, and drew it a third and final time, and added color. And so we have these special projects that we're going to be sharing with you. And what I would like to do is ask, if I could have a couple of my 5th grade YAP helpers, if you could come up and just help me take the chair and the easel down first, if you guys don't mind. And then what I'm going to ask is I'm going to ask our poets to come back up, because we're going to be sharing this in a special way. We're going to have Miss Rowland, our volunteer, and Miss D'Angelo helping out with this. And so just give us a moment and we'll get right to that, okay? Okay, so what we're going to do, actually let me move this over here for a second. Miss D'Angelo is going to get those very special projects right now, and while she's doing that, if I could have all the poets look right out here, because I want to give you one more big round of applause and let everybody take a picture of you standing up nice and tall. Here we go. I just want to mention mention a couple other thank yous. Besides Miss D'Angelo, Mrs. Fridd, one of our paras here, helped to type up the booklet and add our reasons and pictures, so I want to give a shout out to her. I also want to give a shout out to Mr. Chris Hendrickson and our other custodians for all the help setting up the stage practices and getting a chance to Miss Rowland, our YEP helpers that are over here, for all of their help and I don't think I mentioned all of you by name. I apologize for that. We've got Amina, if you could give a wave, Amina, William, Lucy, Sophia, that's Nick's sister, our poet, and Layla. Thank you all so much. And Mr. Travis Rooker is helping live streaming the program in the back. Give a shout out to Mr. Wood. Thank you so much. And one second, and Mrs. Meskimen for sharing the songs from our music class. And Mr. Green for playing guitar with us to make it even more special. Thank you for that. And any of the staff members who supported us here, I think I saw Mrs. Allen, one of our reading teachers. Thanks for showing up, and a lot of them are at home viewing, so thank you for tuning in tonight. And as well as our families and friends. I know a couple of my sisters are here too. I really appreciate that. And Mr. Charno and Ms. Busby for their support. So now you get to see the unveiling of these special projects. All right. All right. Home tonight, so you'll get to see a little bit more. The poem for each of the animals you see featured here is actually on the back of those. And to kind of sandwich this in, I'm going to ask Miss D'Angelo and Miss Rowland to come on up, because this book starts with a poem by the author Amy, as she's a girl looking out the window. So we wanted to come full circle with this. So here you go, Miss D'Angelo.
Poem in your pocket deck by me. Tomorrow I will carry a poem in my pocket. Today I need to find or write the perfect one for me. As I sing a poem, I peek out of my window. I spy a small bird perching in a tall tree. And I wonder, if this bird had pockets, if this bird could write, would it scribble poems about nectar, humming, flight? So suddenly I'm thinking about creatures everywhere. Which poems would they carry? Which poems would they share?
Each creature lives a poem without ever writing a line. I am a creature too. I write, this poem is mine. I imagine, read about, dream of life in the wondrous wild. I love to learn about animals. I am an animal child.
So the end of that has all the animals that were featured in the poem, imagining if they had pockets, what kind of a poem would they write? So it's a little bit, the students have also been researching these animals, so we have some nonfiction and some fiction and some poetry all tied together. So now I'm going to ask the boys and girls, we have a little surprise, they have no idea what this is. So I'm going to ask each of you, I'm going to collect those from you and have you just stand here for a second so you can enjoy this surprise.
Now, once upon a time, there was a cat so shy that he couldn't hardly look anybody in the eye. He was timid and bashful and not quite sure if he could muster up the courage just to walk right out the door. But then one day, he said to himself, I'm gonna take myself right off of the shelf, gonna make some footprints down the hall and write a little note to explain it all. Do you know who that is? Well, it seems he felt that he was different somehow, and he wasn't really sure if the time to tell was now, but he took the chance, and you know that he found that J. has the most caring kids around. So now he's with us, and here he'll stay. He's the funky, freshest kitten in the USA, and he'll always be a little different, you see, because he spells his name with just one C. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. He's nice and tame. Come on, spell his name. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. Everybody, he's Jazz, J-A-Z. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. He's nice and tame. Come on, spell his name. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. One more verse. He's marvelous, fabulous, glorious friend, and will stick with you till the bitter end. He's caring and kind and conscientious too. He's one feline you won't find in a zoo. He's the courteous cat with a gentle touch. He's a fine role model to each and every one of us. He shows respect to you and me because he's Jefferson Avenue's J-A-Z. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. Come on, spell his name. Come on, spell his name. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. Sing along. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. Guess what? He's nice and tame. Come on, spell his name. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. I said he's Jazz, J-A-Z. He's a friend to you and me. He's nice and tame. Come on, spell his name. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. He's Jazz, J-A-Z. He's Jazz, J-A-Z.
Wow, Jazz, that was amazing. And you know what? I happened to find something that looked like Jazz. I don't know. This jazzy bag just appeared and said it had some surprises in it. What? Oh my goodness. It said it had some animal books for all these animal scientists to thank them for an awesome poetry night. Back out. But if I could have all the poets close your books up, and we're going to ask our helpers to come on up so we can get a group picture. So if I could have our helpers come on up, and Miss D'Angelo and Miss Rowland come on up, we're going to get one group picture with everybody. And then we'll take our props, and we'll take our science projects and find our families so we can head on home and enjoy. But one more big round of applause for everybody.
On the count of three, how do we spell jazz?